Hello, welcome to this video lecture. I'm Dr. Melanie Jigurat, and let's talk about the definition of epidemiology. Our main objective is simply to define what is the epidemiology, and these are the Greek words epi, which means upon or on, demos, which means people, and logos, which means the study of. So based from these Greek words, we can simply make a generalization or conclusion that the root of epidemiology is the study of people and not an individual alone. There are a lot of definitions that we can find about epidemiology, but I consider this is from last JM. So epidemiology is the study of distribution and determinants of health-related states or events in a specified population and the application of this study to the control of health problems. So as you can see in this definition, I highlighted the three important terminologies, that is the distribution, determinants, and application. Let us also consider another definition that states that it is also a basic science of public health, which means it is a quantitative disciplines that relies on probability, biostatistics, or statistics. It is also a causal reasoning that, of course, we need now to prove or disprove hypothesis testing. So it sounds like it is just simply doing a research, but mind you, epidemiologists not just a research activity, but it is an integral component of public health, providing the foundation of directing practical and appropriate public health action based on science and causal reasoning. So this definition is from Cates. So basically, we are actually applying both descriptive statistics, or here it is simply descriptive analysis, and inferential also, in a way that we apply analytical epidemiology. Okay, so let's consider the first key terms that we highlighted when we define what is epidemiology, and that is the distribution. So when we say that it is distribution, it has something to do with the frequency, but we are not referring to the number alone, but also to the percent or the ratio between the sample and the population. And also, it is a pattern, so which means that we can also consider now time, place, and also people or the demographic profile of those involved for those to obtained or have that kind of health issues. Well, for the second one, we have the word determinants. This is it has something to do with the factors that influence the occurrence of disease. So it's the causes and other factors that influenced, and it answers or it tries to answer questions of why and how of such events or such related health related events. So in the saying that it is determinants, we are coming up with some analysis like comparison in their demographic characteristics, genetic or immunologic makeup. It can also be in behaviors and environmental exposures, or all potential risk factors that we can think of. While for the application, so as to mention, just saying that it is not just a research. So I am also saying now that it is not just the study of health in a population, because it involves application of knowledge gained by this study. So it use both descriptive and analytic epidemiology as well as, so combined with experience, epidemiologic judgment, and understanding of local conditions in diagnosing the health of a community and proposing for appropriate, practical, and acceptable public health interventions to control and prevent disease in the community to community-based practice. So basically, the objective of epidemiology is not to come up with a cure, but with health intervention for the whole community. And this will be guided, or rather, they will be guided based now on the research on distributions and determinants of health-related diseases or events. So in summary, epidemiology is the study, which means that it is a scientific, it is systematic, it is data-driven of the distribution, both frequency and pattern, and determinants, causes, or risk factors of health-related states and events, not just diseases, in specified populations. Population, patient is community, individuals as viewed collectively, so as a whole community. And the application of, since epidemiology is a discipline within public health, so this study is to control of health problems. So let us consider now six situations here and determine whether we are referring to distribution, determinants, or application. So for the number one, compare food history between person with staphylococcus food poisoning and those without. So as mentioned, so we are here conducting an assessment of comparison of those with and without staphylococcus, so which means this is determinant. And then number two, to compare frequency of brain cancer among anatomies with frequency in general population. So this is again comparison. So we are comparing now sample with the general population. So for us to answer this question, it is not enough to involve description or to involve distribution. So that it means that this is not simply a distribution just because it made mention of frequency, but it is determinant. Number three, mark on a map the residences of all children born with birth defects within 2 miles of a hazardous waste site. So as mentioned, so we can also consider now pattern. So it's the occurrence in a particular local or location, or it has something to do with time or the demographic profile. So in the number three, so we are just coming up now with a distribution or a pattern on the by coming up with a map of the children born with defects within 2 miles of hazardous waste site. So we are just determining their location. So which means this is simply a distribution. And then for number four, to graph the number of cases of congenital syphilis by year for the country. So again, this has something to do with our definition of frequency. So this is, or rather a pattern, so this is distribution. And then for number five, to recommend that close contacts of a child recently reported with meningococcal meningitis receive rifampin. So it's already the application, so giving recommendation. So obviously, this is the application. So hope that everything is clear and well defined. So we are hoping that we have a good definition now of what is the epidemiology. So just think of these three keywords. It's the distribution, determinants, and the last one is the application.